Welcome back to my channel, guys. As you can see on the not the whiteboard, the whiteboard. Whoops. I have already made a little bit of investments in my SMCY. Not only that, I have actually also added the following stocks. I will write their full names in the description below. This isn't going to be a short, or at least I don't think it will be. This is going to be a much longer video. So, my plans for April. Of course, I'm going to be reaching 100 here, hopefully by the end of April. If not, maybe the start of May or mid-May, depending on, certain plans that are going on right now. Then I will be making my way to MRNY. As of, I think an hour or so ago, I was just checking the market on my taxable account, and MRNY is sitting at 17, I think between 17 and 17.50, maybe close to $18. So that's going to take a while. As you can see here, I also added the month of April, the first 4 weeks, or 3 weeks. See how much I get every week, and then I'm going to be tattling all of that towards the end of the month, which will be, I'm going to put it right here actually. So overall, what I'm trying to do is like a ladder. You see right here, Devo, O, JetB, ADC, VXUS, VNQ, VYM, VIG, VTI, and VOO. Sorry. These stocks are monthly. Hold on a second. Wow. So, these are monthly stocks, if I remember correctly. I probably have to look back into them again. But they're very popular. They're very strong. They do have dividend growth over the years. And when you look at the charts, when it's compared to like the max or the year or today, all that stuff, they're going up. Now with these stocks, these are weekly stocks, of course, and their chart is going down. Now that's normally is bad, because that's just showing that the to me and to everyone else that actually does this stuff more better than I do, it just shows that it's not gonna be, how do you say, good long term. I'm not using these stocks for a long term thing. They're like the startup, the engine. So once I reach a certain goal with all of the weekly stocks, I'm going to be transitioning the dividend payments, or at least redirecting them from here into these. These are going to be in my individual accounts first. Then what I'm going to do is do the same thing for the same stocks for my Roth IRA. What I do also plan is, with the Roth IRA, I'm going to be having more of these stocks. Luckily, the app that I use allows if let's say I were to put them all in a basket and put $100 each, it'll put a certain amount into them so that I can start building up bit by bit into each stock all at once instead of individually. Also, I do plan on adding more weekly stocks. I have 2 lists. The list that you see here, besides the ones I've already invested in, are from list 1. If I remember correctly, I think SMCY is part of that list, so there should be 9 from that first list. Then once this is done, I'm going to be doing another list. I don't know if I'm going to be able to even have it on the whiteboard. Yeah, I don't know if I can, but I'll be having a second list that I'm going to be investing. So there's going to be a total of about, I would say, 20, maybe 24 weekly stocks that I found, give or take. Now, of course, the ROC, the NAV erosion, that's some things that I've looked into, especially the ROC, the return on capital, because that is very important. Return on capital basically means how much of the money that you're getting is yours. So there'll be times that I'll check SMCY, MTYY, COY, or MRNY. They'll return 50% of my my own money. So that means half of the money that I'm getting, half of the dividends. So let's say I would be making $10 here, or $8 from last time. Half of that was mine. So it'd be like $4 and some change was mine. And the other half was profit. But there'll be times where it'll be 100%. That means that the entirety of the dividend that you would get for that week or month is your own money being given back to you. Now, is that a bad thing? If it's consistently 100 every time you get a dividend payment, yes. But if it's like maybe once or twice a week, and then the next 2 weeks it's 50% yours or 0% yours, meaning that all the capital that you earned is 100% profit, then no, it's just a weekly change. Which, from what I was looking at, it's kind of, how do you say, consistently normal. So that's that. That shouldn't be a problem. And I do kind of like the fact that the website that I use for these stocks has the ROC, it has the price, it has what these stocks invest in. I try to read and understand what they invest in. I can only grasp here and there some stuff. Like one of these stocks, if I remember correctly, or one of these here, is it does cover calls, I think, on minerals and ores, stuff like that, on another company, another stock. So, and even that word, cover calls, puts, and all that stuff, I don't understand that much, because I don't think I'm trying to, do stuff like that. I do know that when you put or cover call or something like that, you're buying at a certain price, and then you're trying to sell it at a different price. I think that it is, or is that trading? I don't know all of that. All I do know is about dividends, and I'm trying, even that, I don't know a lot about it. So that's why the channel's name is the way it is. Yeah, that's what was happening for March. That was my plan. Obviously, you do see and notice how I don't have IWMY anymore. I don't have USOY. I don't have QLDY. There's like a couple of stocks I don't have. I went from having, I think, was it 6 stocks, maybe 7. I think I have to look back. Probably between 5 and 6, all the way to 4. And in my mind, I'm like, I have to see which ones give me more dividends. And of course, if you just buy and sell stuff, that is taxable. So do not sell unless, in my opinion, 2 things. If what you're selling is because it's not going with your plan, and if you're willing to take the risk of having to be taxed. That is what's one of the things I did learn, is when you sell after a year or so, you're taxed a lot of holding the stock. So if you don't hold the stock for a year plus, or at least a year, you're going to get taxed a lot. Even if you do sell after a year, so you're still getting taxed, it's just not that much. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys take care. You guys have a wonderful day. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not give you any financial advices here. This is all my journeys, all my stuff. Everything I do is just my own thing. If for some reason you decide to invest into the weekly stocks because you like the weekly stocks, please understand that it is up to you, and you have to do your own due diligence, do your investigations. Make sure you have a plan when you do these investments, okay? All right, guys. Take care now.